Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for joining our session on addressing insider risks, how a holistic approach and insider risk management can help. My name is Katherine Anderson.
And I'm Talamir.
And today we are excited to talk with you about how you can manage insider risks with a holistic approach and using the capabilities within Microsoft Purview's insider risk management. In this session, we're going to share some of the insights from our recent Microsoft report on building a holistic insider risk management program.
Then I'm going to talk to you about how insider risk management in Microsoft Purview can help you and your organization to better detect and manage insider risks like data leaks and data theft.
And then we'll end with some guidance and resources on how to get started. Tala, are you ready for this session?
I'm so excited. Let's dig in.
This session and understanding insider risk management is important because we believe that managing insider risks is a core part of a comprehensive data protection strategy. Data protection is about protecting your most sensitive data by identifying and labeling it as such, preventing data loss or unauthorized use of that data, and managing potential internal risks like data leakage, data theft, or misuse of company data. It's important to protect your data wherever it lives throughout its life cycle. First, let's talk about this new report from Microsoft Security, the Building a Holistic Insider Risk Management Program report. This report pulls together some of the findings from recent research commissioned by Microsoft into how organizations are identifying and managing insider risks as part of their data protection strategy. Specifically, we looked at how security and compliance professionals in the United States were addressing insider risks, asking them questions like who at their organization was involved in looking at insider risks. What characteristics of an insider risk management program were most important? And how were organizations approaching insider risk management comprehensively, taking into account their people, processes, privacy controls, training, and tools? We consolidated our findings from these interviews and the surveys into a report that we believe can help CISOs, security and compliance leaders, and organizations worldwide to approach insider risk management more holistically. And what we found through this process and through the responses we got was that there were three distinct profiles around how firms approach insider risk. There are those who take a fragmented approach. A fragmented approach to insider risk means that the organization may recognize a need for addressing risk, but might be misaligned on success measures, and they do not commit large resources or gain company-wide buy-in. They are also less likely to use privacy controls and positive deterrent programs like user training. The next is an evolving one. An organization with an evolving approach may realize the importance of an insider risk program and be on a journey to address these risks, but they need to place greater emphasis on improving the work environment, getting buy-in, and aligning the right tools and training for their organization. And the final approach, the one that we center on as part of this report, is a holistic approach. A holistic approach to insider risk management means on focusing on all facets of what a program might include, from having the right people, processes, and tools in place, to making sure that organizational trust and user privacy are a major consideration in detecting and managing insider risk. Specifically, there are 5 characteristics we identified as key to a holistic insider risk management approach. First, it prioritizes employee trust and privacy controls. In fact, we found that over 90% of the holistic organizations surveyed placed high importance on balancing employee privacy with company security and making sure that privacy was a key focus in how they addressed and responded to insider risk, particularly during the early stages of a security investigation. Second, a holistic approach attains more buy-in and involvement across the organization. Risk management can be challenging for security and compliance leaders to address. And we found that organizations who have a holistic approach are 3 times more likely to involve other departments in their insider risk management planning. This means bringing together not only IT and security teams, but also leaders from across compliance, operations, legal, and human resources. Third, a holistic approach focuses efforts and importance on user training and education. including establishing employee understanding of the importance of insider risk and mandating training on data protection and corporate policies. Training and empowering your employees is a key part of a holistic strategy. Fourth, we found that holistic organizations use positive deterrence more often, including a higher use of detailed onboarding training, upward feedback, and preemptive employee engagement. Positive deterrence can further serve to foster trust, integrity, and employee buy-in. And lastly, integrating tool usage. Managing insider risks means looking at potential risks from multiple angles. So being able to take an approach that looks at your risk from across your technology stack can help you to better identify and respond to potential risks in your environment. Many organizations may be looking at how they evolve their risk management and data protection strategy, and some of the findings and guidance in this report may help. And specifically, can help provide guidance for organizations that might be looking for a more holistic approach. This report breaks it down into 3 main themes for organizations looking to get started. First, empower your people and make privacy a priority. Your employees play an integral role in keeping critical data safe. Leverage open communications and user privacy protection controls. Put higher emphasis on training and education, and provide open channels for employees to voice concern. Next, embrace collaboration across your leadership. Addressing insider risk requires a collaborative approach across the enterprise, and it should prioritize education, engagement, and buy-in to create a comprehensive and effective risk management program. A collaborative approach across IT, security, HR, legal, and business leadership can help you further your organizational goals. And finally, address insider risk from multiple lenses. By using a holistic approach to address your data protection strategy, you can set the right policies for protecting sensitive data, preventing potential data loss, and improving visibility into a complex problem. These findings and much more information about addressing insider risk holistically are available now as part of the Microsoft Building a Holistic Insider Risk Management Program report. It is available to download for everyone at aka.ms/insider risk report. Be sure to check it out. But right now, I want to switch gears and talk with my colleague, Tal Amir, about how organizations can identify and manage insider risks using insider risk management.
Well, Katie, as you know, insider risk management is Microsoft's solution for identifying and mitigating insider risks in your organization. It's designed to help security teams understand when users are performing risky actions, like data leak or data theft, that may result in a security incident. It enables customers to create policies that help manage security and compliance in line with their organization's risk appetite. When we talk to customers, it's very apparent that the 2 most common scenarios that they are concerned about is data leak and data theft, which is why data protection is so important. At the end of the day, data doesn't move itself. People move data. And insider risk management is designed to help you understand the 360-degree view of a user and to help paint a holistic risk picture. We do this with rich insights, including sophisticated machine learning models and policies that are highly configurable across your Microsoft and third-party estate. This can help organizations identify hidden risks, including from the endpoint, requiring no endpoint agent on Windows or using an agent on Mac. It also has privacy built in. Privacy is fundamental to our solution. Insider risk management has username pseudonymization on by default and strong role-based access control to help ensure the right people are taking the right actions. And it allows security teams to run end-to-end investigations with integrated investigation workflows, allowing them to work together with other leaders across HR and legal. Insider risk management is available from within Microsoft Purview Center, and one of the first questions we hear is, how do I get started? Customers come to us and say, I feel like I have some type of an issue as far as insider risk is concerned, but I need a way to quantify this. We wanted to provide a way for you to help answer this question, so we built analytics. When using analytics within insider risk management, it runs these aggregated reports, which are completely anonymized, to help you understand and quantify the level of insider risk in your organization. For example, it helps you to understand what percentage of your population may be exhibiting patterns that may lead to data leak, or what percentage of your population is exhibiting activity patterns that may lead to potential data theft. You can also look at more detailed information and get a breakdown of the type of exfiltration activity that might be taking place. For example, you can get a top view into what the top 1%, 5%, or 10% of your organization is doing in terms of the most common exfiltration, like perhaps copying files to USB or sending emails with attachments to people outside your organization. This information can be helpful in setting a baseline and in creating the right policies for your organization. And now we make it even easier for you to start up with a policy with our new quick policies. With just one click from the analytics assessment result, you can create a policy using the defaults in the system. You can choose which users you want to put within scope, whether it's everyone in your organization or a specific set of users that you want to include in the policy. We also still have the advanced policy wizard, which you can use to leverage more advanced customization features like priority content definitions, triggers, thresholds, and more. And like I mentioned earlier, user privacy is absolutely fundamental to everything we do in insider risk management. One of the features in insider risk management is username pseudo-anonymization, which will show you an anonymized version of a username in an alert and a case. This not only helps to protect user privacy, but also help maintain bias control in case the analyst comes across an alert of a friend of theirs. This is all especially important at the beginning stages of a security investigation, or if there are benign or false positive alerts being surfaced. Username pseudo-anonymization is on by default in insider risk management. Like privacy controls, role-based access control, or RBAC, is also fundamental to insider risk management. We know that some organizations want to maintain separation of duties when it comes to different processes. That's why we have optional roles within the solution, from administrators who define policies and set up the right solution settings, to analysts who have the ability to view specific alerts and take action on them, to investigators who have the ability to review content as well as alerts and cases, to finally the auditors who are making sure that the right security investigative actions are being taken by the right people. Which brings us back to settings and policies. Insider risk management is all about indicators. When it comes to setting up policies for your organization, you are in control. All of these indicators that are used within a policy are explicit opt-in only. We want you to be able to select the right indicators for your organization across your Microsoft 365 digital estate and beyond. You can select as many of these indicators with a single click, with no data feeds to set up, no data normalization needed, and nothing to ingest. We pull in what signals you want, but you are always in control. And as we work with customers and organizations on deploying and using insider risk management solution, we are learning more about how security teams want to fine-tune and customize their policies. And we're building new features to help detect the right risky activities and manage potential noise that might be coming in. So let's talk about policy customization. We've heard from our customers that it's not one size fits all. Every customer has their own risk appetite, and they need to be able to quickly tune their policies to fit their needs. So we're very excited to talk to you about some of the new features that are rolling out to help you do that and to accelerate your time to action. First, let's start with inline policy customization. This allows analysts and investigators to fine-tune policies during the alert review experience. We want it to be easy for you to understand what is being surfaced in the alert. What was the offending activity? What was the activity that raised the risk score to a level where an alert fired? Now you can look at that, and right from there, you can start to take action or adjust the policy. You might want to adjust the threshold and see fewer of these types of activities come up. Or you might decide to remove that activity from scoring altogether. We now allow analysts and investigators to do that in line during the alert triage experience. Next, let's talk about priority content only scoring. We've always had the ability to define what priority content is, whether it's based on location of the content, file extension, sensitivity labels, sensitive information types, or even trainable classifiers. As Katie mentioned earlier, one of the first steps to protecting your data is knowing what data is most important and labeling it as such. If you've effectively classified your data and understand your data state, then you could choose to set up these policies, which are very fine-tuned and only looking for content that matches priority content definitions that you've set. So thereby increasing the fidelity of these policies and those alerts that produce out of these policies. So if in the policy, for example, you've chosen to define priority content as documents with a highly confidential sensitivity label, you can come here and say only look for activity which is involved with content of that label, which allows your detections to get super precise. Next, in the past, we've talked about event sequencing, which is incredibly powerful in helping security teams understand user activities and intent. And it does this by stitching together a sequence of activities like somebody downloading content, renaming it, exfiltrating it, and then maybe cleaning up that content. A few months ago, we introduced this into analytics, so we can detect how many sequences are detected in your environment. Now we're excited to announce you can actually use sequences as triggers for your policies. This increases the fidelity of your policies because now users that get triggered for a specific policy and come in scope for risk evaluation can be those who match for those multiple stage sequences. And what happens when your security team has investigated a potential data security incident and found that it is credible risk, or even one that might require further action? Oftentimes, this is when the security team will need to engage with your legal group, and that's where our integration with eDiscovery Premium helps. You can take the content from a case and escalate it for an investigation into eDiscovery case. This helps you neatly package the contents and assets most relevant to the case and send it to your eDiscovery team, which can be incredibly helpful because oftentimes the trickiest part of eDiscovery is the discovery bit. And Insider Risk Management brings together the power of Microsoft Stack beyond just eDiscovery. Our integrations with Microsoft Defender for Cloud Apps and Defender for Endpoint give you visibility beyond your Microsoft environment, including into third-party cloud applications and cloud environments. We leverage trainable classifiers, sensitivity labels, and sensitive information types from Microsoft Purview Information Protection, which helps you to identify and label the information most critical to your organization. We also integrate with Azure Active Directory and Microsoft Sentinel to leverage the Microsoft Identity and SIEM capabilities as part of your security management. Furthermore, we have integrations with HR connectors, healthcare connectors, and physical badging systems to get broader visibility into potential risky user actions that most concern your organization. And this is just a small sample of some of the capabilities we have within Insider Risk Management. If you want to learn more about Insider Risk Management, be sure to check out these resources. If you are a Microsoft E3 customer, check out the Purview trial at aka.ms/Purview trial. For more information on our Insider Risk Management solution, check out our resources listed here, including our docs page, our latest blog, and our Become an Insider Risk Management Ninja page. And to see our new report on building a holistic Insider Risk Management program, which Katie talked about earlier, check out aka.ms/Insider Risk Report.
And be sure to check out the other great sessions and content as part of Microsoft Ignite, including the breakout and on-demand sessions focused on data protection and data loss prevention. Thanks for joining our session, and have a great rest of Microsoft Ignite.